People, what in the world is a Tournament 1000 by Unisonic? Well, let's take a look around this device and see if we can figure out what it is. I mean, I kind of have an idea, but let's inspect it a bit. So if we take a look at the center portion of this device, along the top of it, we've got a button that says reset. We've got one that says pro. But this is a switch. It's a slide switch. It's really difficult to move, but it says pro and AM, as well as speed, angle, and power. Actually, only speed and angle have a pro and AM. Some of these switches I thought moved a little bit easier, but nope, they're kind of difficult to move. They feel kind of stuck. So I guess we'll see about that. Anyways, there's power off and on. Can we even turn this thing on? Oh man, that is stuck. Oh, then we got serve. We've got manual and auto. Can we move that one? Nope. That feels stuck also. And there's another push button there under serve or above serve. So as we move down, we see we've got these two sides. One that says left team scorer, and then we've got a right team scorer. And then it says game selector. So it's some sort of game. And we've got tennis, table tennis. We've got hockey, soccer. And we can move this lever down to select it from one. We've got squash. And maybe I'm just too uncultured to know what squash is. I guess I'd have to look it up. And then there's practice. So if you want to just practice, we move down to practice. So as far as these left team scorer and the right team scorer go, they don't move automatically. So you have to manually move it down to where you want it to be as far as a score goes. So that's about it for this center portion. If we move over to the top left, we see we've got a very dirty looking, it almost looks like a speaker grill, but it's not completely rounded open in there. So I don't know what's inside of that. Down the bottom left corner, we see we've got left team, and we've got a small button that we can move to the side. And we saw that unlatched this left team thing, arrow looking thing on the side. So if we pull this out, we see that it slides out and it looks like a boat coming out. And there it goes. It left the dock. Oh, it's followed by a wire. We see we've got a knob, and this can move back and forth. So it's obviously a controller of some sort. And if we go over to the opposite corner, we see we've got another one that says right team. And that also has another little release latch, a little slider. And this one, it doesn't automatically pop out. This one is a little bit more on the tight side. Got to kind of force it there to come out. And, oh, this one's a little damaged there. That's not good. Doesn't look like it's gone all the way through. It looks a little flat. But anyways, we see we got another cord. So pretty much the same thing as on the other side. Stuff all this stuff back in there. All right, moving on to the top right. We've got another speaker grill looking thing, except this one has a small portion up at the back of the top there that looks like it can be opened. And if we pry up on it, it indeed can be opened. Now this has a cord that's looped around that little retainer there. And there's also cable there. We see we can pull some of it out, but it doesn't seem to release anything else. It's just sort of there. So what is this? I have no idea. There's no end that can be pulled out. So I guess this is the controller wires. That's kind of interesting. I don't know why they did this way, but it looks like that's what that is, because I see there's some flat spots on that, and I saw those on the controller at the bottom right. So yeah, I don't know what the idea with being able to open this up is. Maybe to untangle the cords or something if they get tangled for whatever reason. Although I would think that this one being stuffed in there, that'd be enough cable, but I don't know. So this one does not want to go back in because the cable's now in the way. Let's see. If we pull on this, can we get that cable to retract? I can't. So yeah, that kind of defeats that theory. All right, so I'll just have to stuff the cable inside, move it out of the way. There we go. Got it to latch. And this side latched as well. All right, so let's put this cover back on, stuff all that cabling back inside. All right, and let's flip it over to the back side. We've got a small jack that says the DC9V, and then we've got a cable sticking out that has an RCA connected to it. So this is more likely than not going to be an RF output, I'm guessing. And as far as to what channel, I have no idea because there's no way to select anything that I've seen. And so if we flip this over to the bottom side, first of all, we see we got some spider poopies right there. So this was probably sitting in a storage or closet or garage somewhere upside down, and spider poop got on it. I've got a torn label. Unfortunately, it's missing some of the stuff like model number. Yeah, can't read some of that stuff. It says DC 9 volts. Looks like that portion says manufactured by Digitech Electronics. Looks like we got serial number 02830, and it says Hong Kong. I don't know what this other number there would mean. And up at the top, it looks like it would have said like Unisonic Products Corp. So nothing else on the bottom other than this cover. So if we remove that, we see that we've got a spot for 9 C-size or 6 C-size batteries. So if we add all that up, we find out that it comes out to exactly 9 volts. So it's definitely a 9 volt powered product. And so with all that, have you kind of taken a guess as to what it is? Well, my best guess is that this is a Pong clone of some sort, or a Pong-like game, especially judging by the table tennis, hockey, soccer, squash, and the practice mode. So it looks like you have to manually add up your score. So when you score, you manually move it. And I guess there's nothing stopping you from saying like, okay, the right team scored 2. All right, I scored 1 right there. Oh, I scored 1 again. Hey, look, I scored 10 or whatever, so it's kind of on the honor system for the scoring. Okay, so I know basically nothing about this thing, and I guess a quick little story time. I was browsing eBay one day, as one does, and this thing just sort of popped up on one of the listings, and I saw it. I clicked on it, kind of took a look at it. I didn't really research it much further, and I just kind of passed on it. I kept moving on. And then it kind of popped into my head, and I went back to look, and the listing was, about to end, and I put it on my watch list, but the listing expired, and so, it wasn't up anymore. But it got relisted because nobody bought it. So I put it on my watch list again, and then when I think it was on a bid style listing. I don't think it was a buy it now. So I put it on my watch list, and I just kept it there until the listing was about to end. And right before it ended, I put the bid on it for basically just a little bit above the starting price, which was $7.99, and nobody else bid on it. So I got it for $7.99, and the shipping actually cost way more than I paid for the actual thing. The shipping was almost $21. So in total, I paid just under $30 for the thing, which seems like a bit much, but I was super interested in seeing what this thing was, and I purposely avoided looking up any information about it so that, I could kind of investigate it and learn about it as we go. I don't know if I want to try to power this thing up as is, because it sounds like there's something rattling around in there, and I think it'd be best if we maybe inspect it first. We'll open it up, see what's inside, and then maybe we can try powering it up if nothing looks, like it's going to be potentially problematic, or it's going to cause it to burn up as soon as we apply power. So if we flip it over to the bottom side, there's 4 screws that I can see. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we remove those, I think this unit should come apart. These sliders, they feel pretty, the right one feels fairly smooth. This one feels a little, or maybe not. Maybe I think it's just the bottom of it rubbing on the aluminum makes it feel like it's sticking. But see if I pull it up. Oh no, that feels fine. So we'll see if that works. So yeah, I'll get a screwdriver. Let's open it up. All right, so a screwdriver in hand. I'm the man with the plan. Let's flip it over, and something that rhymes with those words. I don't know. Anyways, let's take these screws off. Okay, undoing the last screw, and it feels like the top cover's somewhat loose already. So come on, you don't want to stick to the screwdriver so I can pull them out easily. Oh, well, these two didn't want to come out. But the other two screws are out, so let's flip it over. It feels like, there it goes. Now the screw comes out. Tap it, tap it. All right, guess I'm staying inside. Okay, so this felt like it was kind of loose. Oh, now the screw comes out. There it goes. It's somewhat loose. Maybe I got to remove the controllers. Let's pop those out. Maybe those are what's stopping it. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, so it's got some small retainers on the side. Yeah, it looks like one there. So it's going to have another one on this side. So if I just pull the bottom portion out a little bit, pull up on the top, there it goes. All right, so let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at all that cabling. So it looks like, wow, these controllers can go pretty far. I didn't know how far they could actually go because I didn't try to pull them out. But yeah, they got quite a bit of distance there. So it's not like you had to sit completely up close to this thing. It's pretty dusty inside. It's not too crazy. You got some stuff kind of floating around in there. There's that input jack for power. Looks like they got some filtering on that. So yeah, there's a few inductors, looks like. So they were kind of serious about maybe filtering out some noise from whatever power supply might have come with this thing. There's the top switchboard. So looks like that's a separate item from the rest of the... there's nothing to disconnect this with, so I'm going to have to just be careful there not to yank it off. So that looks like the... Yeah, that's the game selector switch. So it's got not really a ribbon cable, but it's a bunch of wires encased in this plastic. Looks like you just cut it off where you need it. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conductors. There is a twist tie that doesn't seem to go to anything. It's just kind of in here. Oh, and this is that cable that was all bunched up on the side with the removable door. So that looks like it's only for the, for the right side controllers. So why there's only one on this side, I have no idea, but looks like maybe it was stuck where it wasn't supposed to be, and that's why it looked like it went to multiple places. And indeed, there is a speaker where I said it looks like that might be a speaker grill. So let's zoom out a bit. There is the main board, and that's what's going to have the whatever game processor this thing is using. So you can see right there. Oh, looks, we got a little tiny transformer right there. What does that go to? It goes to these two orange wires. What are those? Oh, those go to the speaker. Oh, okay. So that's probably going to be the output stage for the speaker. And what I didn't see was any way to adjust the volume. So I guess this thing's going to have like a fixed output. Okay, I'm going to flip this over because I've got the black portion sticking off the bench. I don't want to drop it and rip cables. So there we go, flippity flip. And we got CAN covering up what looks to be the RF section. If I tilt this up, we can see that there's a CAN in there. Oh, that's how you would select your channel, I would bet. That actually looks like it might be accessible from the battery compartment. I did not see that. Does that say something about channel? It does not. But yep, that's where it is. I did not notice that before. So there you go. That's where you would change your channel. And yeah, I don't see anything at all. Whoa, that's what was rattling around inside. A piece of glass. No clue what that's from. It's a little curved, so I'm wondering if maybe this was like from a Christmas ornament or something. So, okay. That I'm not too worried about if it was just that then. So, yeah, no clue what channel you can select. It might be 2 and 3. It could be 3 and 4. Well, we have some options here, so it doesn't really matter. So it looks like if we remove 1, 2, 3 screws off the board, we can see what's on the other side. Looks like we've got a model number there. It says EC85. I have no idea what any of these numbers are going to mean. All right, let's take off those screws. We'll try to flip the board over and see what else is on there. Okay, so that's the 3 screws removed. Oh, and before I flip it over on the side, we can see that that's where the wires for the controllers go. So it's only 2 conductors, so they're just going to be basically just linear pots that, adjust whatever resistance they're from like full to like nothing. So, and then we got L, so that's going to be the left one. That's R. And it looks like they've actually got, oh no, I'm wrong. It's 3 conductors. Okay, so yeah, like one's going to be ground most likely. The other one's going to be like the positive voltage. And then the other one's going to be the center of the wiper of the pot. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes some sense. All right, so let's see if we can get anywhere, but no, we can't. All right. So I think I'm going to have to undo this black wire because I can't flip it over this way. There is another set of wires going down to the switch board. So these wires that were going to the other switchboard is basically daisy chained. So this switchboard goes to this switchboard, and then that goes to the main board. So in order to flip this over, I'm going to have to undo that screw so that I can pull that upwards, and then this wire I can just desolder, and that should allow the board to flip over. Okay, so I've desoldered that one wire, and I've removed the screw from this retaining ring. So if we flip this over, see what we've got. Still not very easy. Okay, this cable, just need to pull a bit. There we go. Oh, whoa, it's socketed. Okay, looks like that's about as much as I can flip it over. So it looks like it's a single chip thing. So this is just going to be a single chip game. So it looks like it's an AY-3-8500-1. So I'll look that up real quick, see what I can find about it. There's a really old school CAN transistor right there. That looks like it's going to be the amplifier for the speaker. Got a couple of electrolytics, another electrolytic. So who knows what condition these are in. There we go. It's a little bit of a better view. So yeah, AY-3-8500-1. I'm assuming that's going to be the date code, 11th week of 1977. It's pretty old. That's the RF modulator. There's this can, or it's like a plastic cylinder looking thing. I'm assuming that's probably a transformer of some sort. It appears to have 4 pins. Looks like, yeah, something. It's got 4 pins. One's connected to ground. The other one's connected to the center of the output. So yeah, that is it. So let's see what information I can find about that chip. Well, holy crap. I was able to find a data sheet for it. So it's made by General Instrument. And there we go. We got the AY-3-8500-1. It says ball and paddle. It says it features 6 selectable games. So it's tennis, soccer, squash practice, and 2 rifle shooting games. So those 2 games are not available. I'm wondering if maybe there's some sort of controls. Yeah, look, it says rifle game 2, rifle game 1. So it looks like they're selected by each game has its individual selection pin. So these are probably not going to be used, obviously. And it says automatic scoring, except why do we not have automatic scoring? It looks like it's manual, but I guess we'll see if anything actually shows up on screen. Score display on TV, screen 0 to 15, selectable bat size, selectable rebound angles. I'm assuming that this is going to be the switches that say a pro and amateur. So that's what these select. Automatic or manual ball service. We saw that on the switches and buttons. Action sounds. So that's going to come through the speaker. Shooting forwards in soccer game. Visually defined area for all ball games. So it says the AY-3-8500 circuits have been designed to provide a TV games function which gives active entertainment using a standard domestic television receiver. And it's obviously a battery powered, and it says that it's intended to be battery powered. So yeah, it's a single chip, 6 games chip. And so there we go. That's the schematic for it. There it shows a 4072. Looks like this is in OR gate. This I see. I'm assuming it's going to. Oh yeah, there's another one right there. So that's this is probably going to be inside the no, because it says the modulator, and there are no other chips on the board. Oh, actually, I just realized we can remove the can from the modulator. It's not soldered on or anything. So it looks like I should be able to pop this off. Ah, there we go. Nope, there are no ICs inside. So at the bottom it says black and white implementation. Does that mean that some of these support color? Let's see. I don't see any pins that reference anything about color. So yeah, I don't know. There's a sync output. Yeah, I don't know about that. Then we got a description of all the pin inputs and outputs, electrical characteristics. It runs at 2 megahertz. And I saw that it mentioned that you can use an external 2 megahertz crystal right there in the schematics, but this does not have a crystal oscillator, so it's probably going to be like an RC oscillator or something. Oh, and there we go. That's what it's going to look like. So we see that it does show the score there, so I don't know why they have you like manually enter it as well. Those are the paddles. But that's interesting that it actually shows you like the actual timings for the graphics on the screen. It tells you right there that that's the retrace period. It tells you how many lines for the ball and all that stuff. That's that's crazy. I didn't expect to see that much information. That's yeah, that's really interesting. It gives you timing diagrams, and that's it. That's where this document ends. So is that it? I'm assuming, or is this document just not complete? Yeah, I don't know if this is all the pages that were actually in this document, or if there's stuff missing. This is all I could find. Ah, I freaking lied. There's an even better data sheet. So this is pretty much the same as the other one for this beginning portion. It's got a different looking diagram. This actually has a so I'm guessing that maybe later on there was another chip introduced that could do the RF modulation. Or actually, what is this? It says AY3-8515. Oh, full color implementation using AY3-8515 color converter circuit. Okay, so the other one was just for black and white, which is basically what we have in this console. So if it would have had this chip, looks like it could have done color. So that's kind of neat. And again, all the pin implementations, that diagram of the display. What is this showing us? Tennis, and it describes tennis, looks like. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but that's this shows you, I guess, what the trajectory the ball would take and all that stuff, shooting forward, a return of goal save. Oh, this is squash. Okay. There are 2 players who alternatively hit the ball into the court. The right-hand player is the one that hits first. It is then the left-hand player's turn. Each player is enabled alternatively to ensure that the proper sequence of play is followed. And here we go. This is rifle game number 1. What do? It has a large target which bounces randomly about the screen. A photocell in the rifle is aimed. Oh, so you have to have. This is basically like a light gun type game. So it looks like, yeah, that's the whole reason why these are not implemented. You require a different device for that. Oh, wow. This is the rifle interface. Okay, so there we go. That says a photo Darlington. So this is what would receive the light. So you'd have like a magnifying glass or something. So focus so that you can receive the lights signals from the TV. So this would then go to, it says hit. Why is this a switch? Connect pin 27 to hit pulse and rifle game. Connect pin 27 to pin 3 in all other games. Oh, okay. So that's to, I guess, select the type of controller that's going to be interfaced to the chip. So, well, this is all really neat. There's the VHF modulator. Oh, this says is this for lab, for test purposes. Okay. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff in this data sheet. And there's also something down at the very bottom or the very end of it. It says 4-player configuration. So you can have basic 2-player tennis game can be expanded to true 4-player doubles. Each player is capable of playing the full width of the court. So it shows you a schematic also on how to implement 4 controllers. So everybody would have their own linear pot, and then it goes through a 40-16, and this goes to the left bat and the right bat. So, wow, man, they provided like all the information you needed to make your own game with this data sheet. Oh, and one quick thing. So it says that the maximum ratings, the standard conditions is what I was kind of interested in, that the VCC is +6 to +7 volts. So I think we'll be safe to try to power this up because, like I said, nothing looks like it's damaged or anything inside. So, yep, let's connect it to an RF input, and we will try to power it up and see if it will actually still play. Couple quick things before we actually try to see if this game will work. It looks like this lid on this side was not supposed to come off. It looks like they tried, or at least partially melted that plastic tab to the casing on both sides, but obviously wasn't melted very well because it was super easy to open up. So it looks like this was not intended to be messed with, but as we can see, that there was like no way to stop anybody from actually doing so. And also, the power jack in the back, it's not a like a regular size 3.5 millimeter like phono plug. This one uses a 2.5 millimeter plug, and I was actually going to try to use one of these old Radio Shack like adapters with the cable and all that to try to power the thing. But the problem is that this outer portion of the plastic there is like way too wide, so it can't be inserted all the way. So I do have like a bare plug, and I did a polarity check just to be sure that I wasn't going to connect it backwards. But it turns out that this thing is center negative. So if we touch the outside, what would be like the normally like the negative terminal, and we touch the positive, you might be able to hear the multimeter beeping there. So yeah, so the outside, which would normally be ground, is actually positive, and the center terminal is the very tip is negative on this. So I just got to make sure that I hook that up properly. Okay, I've got the power supply set for 9 volts, and I wanted to limit the current just in case something goes wrong so I don't fry the thing. And I was looking at the data sheet, and it looks like it says it's got a power supply current of 40 or maximum of 60 milliamps at 7 volts. But we need to take into account the fact that we've got the modulator and also the speaker. So I'm going to set it to, well, let's do 200 milliamps, see where that gets us. All right, so I'm just going to disconnect the positive from the power supply. I'm going to clip these to that plug. Okay, so we're ready for power, and then I'm going to need a coupler for the RCA plug, and that's going to go to my TV capture card. So there we go. I've already got it set to channel 3. If it doesn't work on channel 3 right away, I can flip that switch inside. I think channel 3 is the safest option, but we'll see what it does. And also the cables for each controller, they're about 3 feet long, or for our other around the world friends, about a meter long. So they're not that short. They give you a pretty generous amount, I think. Okay, so all the switches, they felt like they're stuck, but if I just pull up gently on them a little bit and I flip them like up and down, yeah, they do work. So hopefully the switches are okay. So we'll make sure that the power is in the off position. Everything else, I'm leaving it at AM for amateur. That's the reset button and the serve. Okay, I think we are ready to test. All right, gonna have a different view there. We're gonna have the console in the bottom left corner, and then we see we got the TV. So I already got it set to channel 3. Let's see what it does. I'm gonna plug in the power supply, and it shouldn't do anything. Okay, I see no power draw. Power supply. We saw that the screen there got kind of dark. That's weird. All right, here we go. Let's switch it on. Let's see what happens. In 3, 2, 1. It got stuck. There we go. It looks like it's trying. It's drawing. Ooh. Okay, so it killed the power supply. It's brought it down to 2.15 volts at 200 milliamps. So it looks like maybe we need a little bit more power. All right, let's switch it off. All right, let's increase it to, let's do 500 milliamps. Let's see if that's going to be enough. Here I go, switching it back on in 3, 0. There we go. And it killed the power supply again. Why do I do what I do, man? So I just finished explaining that the center pin was not positive, that the outside pin, or the normally ground, was positive, and I still hooked it up backwards. Why am I like this? Oh, man. Sometimes I frustrate myself. All right. There we go. Now we got it connected properly. Hopefully I didn't kill anything in the process. Jeez. All right, hopefully it had some reverse protection like a diode or something. All right. Let's try it again. I'll drop it down to 200 again. Okay, here we go. Let's bring back the other view. There we go. Let's get that in the shot. Okay, for the third time, I think now. Here we go. And on. Hey, it just made a tone there. Okay, so maybe we have it on the wrong channel. It's beeping. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear that. Let's, since that didn't come up, I'm going to flip this switch. And I can't reach in there. Let's see, I can't reach in there with a finger, so there it goes. Okay, so now it's on channel 3. So I don't know what channel the other one was. So it's working. It's a little grainy on the video, but it is working. Let's see. Okay, so it's just going to keep beeping. What happens if we hit serve? There it goes. Oh, there's the paddle. Oh, geez, they can go like way off the board. Let me shrink this down a bit so you can see that a little bit better. There we go. So if I move this all the way up, you can see that the paddles are like way off the board. So if I move it like all the way down there, now it's like off the board again. So yeah, like right about in the middle, that's where the sweet spot is. So that means that this one, like way off the board as well. So let's bring it up. There it goes. There we are. So why does it say 15? Do we have to reset the score? There we go. Reset the game. Oops, I should probably turn my little TV on. Well, the RF modulator doesn't seem to be doing a great job. The image is like really snowy on both my capture and on the TV. So, but yeah, the game appears to be working. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to play with myself because it's not like I have another person to play with me. So here we go. Let's see if I can play this with 2 hands. Oh no, I already lost. Jeez. All right, serve again. There we go. Ah, how did I miss? And serve. Oh, geez, this is okay. This is like really hard to do it like this. There we go. There we go. Ah, no, I missed it. All right, so that's basically Pong or not Pong, tennis or table tennis. So you just got to use your imagination as to which one you're playing. Let's see what happens when we just flip some of these switches. So if we go to size, we go to a pro. It looks like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. It just makes it smaller. So then if we go to speed, I'm guessing that's going to be the speed of the ball. Let's see how that changes. Yeah, it goes way faster. And if we go to angle, I'm guessing that's going to be the angle that the ball goes at. It's going to be, oh, okay, so I guess it's not as sharp on the angles there. And then just the serve, it's manual or auto. We'll just leave it on manual. All right, let's just, let's try the other games. Let's see, hockey and soccer. So it just, what does it do? It adds, oh, I see. Okay, so you have the right side controller controlling those two, and then you have the left side controlling those two. And squash, that's the one I was talking about. That's like a ball wall. So let's see. Let's reset that game. And I totally missed. What happens if I try to keep these both at the same? Boy, the left side and the right side of my brain do not like to stay in sync. Right? Ah, shoot. This is hard. Where did the ball go? I didn't see it. Okay, so I'm serving the ball, but it's not showing up on the screen. What kind of garbage is that? Let's try to reset the game. There it is. There it is. Okay. Ah. Yeah, my brain is not cooperating here. It keeps wanting me to separate the 2 paddles. I'm trying to keep them together. Oh, geez, I can't do this. Anyways, let's see what practice. There we go. So, practice, there's no scoring. And what is that? Ah, okay. There we go. Doing pretty good. And I realized that the entire time I was looking at the capture on the OBS, and it's delayed, so it makes it even more difficult to control. Now I'm looking straight at the TV, so you can see I'm doing like way better now. And I missed it right as I said I was doing better. All right, so yeah, it does work. The image is just like super snowy. One thing I just realized that I've been sitting here messing with these remote controllers is that the knobs look kind of funky, and I just I pulled one off, and it turns out that somebody must have taken these off at some point and didn't put them on right. They put them like up in one of these slots where not supposed to be. It's supposed to be right in the center. So if we remove it and we put it on in the right position, then it's a little more centered. They're kind of bent, but at least they're not all offset the way they were. So there we go. So at least the it can be straightened out. That's not a big deal. Make them look a little better, but that's part of the reason I think why that's rubbing. Yeah, that can be fixed. Hey, check this out. If you get it in just the right spot, you can't lose. This is the equivalent of the DVD logo hitting the corner when it's bouncing around. So I found somebody who can play with me for a little bit. So we're going to play a few rounds, and we'll see how we do. So here you go. That's going to be your controller. All right, so get your paddle ready. And let's reset the game. And it's beeping, and here we go. So I'm going to serve. I don't know which way it's going to come. I think it's going to come from your direction first. So, let's see. Yep, towards me. That looks like you would have gotten it.
Yeah, I did.
All right. I think all that snowy stuff makes it kind of hard to see. Okay. This time, yeah, it's going to come from my direction. Ready? Oh, got to be a little faster. Try to keep it in the middle. That way you can react to it a little more. And also, like, try to keep your hand, like, controlled, like that. So that way you can, like, be able to get it. Ready? Okay. Oh! There you go. Oh, you went down too fast. It got past you. Come on, you're not going to let me win, are you?
I'm trying to.
Oh! I went too far up.
Okay.
No, we went too far. There you go. Oh, I'm not going to miss that one. You let it through. Oh!
You just did what I did.
I know, that was totally an accident. We can go to 50. Oh, come on. Are you serious? All right, ready? Where's my pen? Oh.
No.
Oh, you just barely let it through.
3 points away.
No. No. Oh. I thought you'd lost that one. No. Okay, we're pretty much almost tied. Come on.
What?
Oh.
What the heck was that?
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know. Fine. Here, I'll let you have that point. Okay. That one came from like a weird direction. Well, not that one, but the previous one. Hey, all right. No. Oh. All right.
You.
Where's my bat? Oh, I barely got that one.
You just switched in a view. What?
Ah, you weren't far down enough.
Yeah.
Well.
Like 1 pixel. What?
So even after, yeah, you can still pitch, but score doesn't go up anymore. All right, kid. Well, thanks for playing, but maybe next time.
Wait. What? No.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up then. Well, as we can see, this thing seems to still work fairly well, other than the image quality still being pretty bad. And on the capture, it looks, kind of, you can tell that there's a bit of like ghosting or something. But on the TV, it doesn't just look snowy. It looks more like a hailstorm. There's a bunch of big white and small dots that kind of just rain diagonally across the screen. So I don't know if maybe recapping this thing would take care of some of those issues. I mean, being 47 years old at this point, I think I would want to recap it anyway. It could do with a good cleaning and some lubing of the switches. But in this video, I mostly just wanted to explore the thing and see what it was exactly and kind of learn a little bit about it. And so after doing a little bit of searching, it seems like there's a bit of a following to some of these things. I came by these like totally by accident because I had no previous knowledge of these before. So we're going to end this video at this point. It's getting kind of long. But before we go, since the chip is socketed, and we have the, not the service, the data sheet, and it shows us how to make some of the equipment required to play some of the other games that are not implemented on this console. If there's enough interest in it, I'm totally willing to maybe go about designing a custom board that we can borrow the chip out of this console and pop it into that one so that we can see those other game modes and just kind of play with it overall. So, yeah, if you guys are kind of interested in that sort of thing, let me know and just leave a comment down below. There's enough interest, then yeah, I'll take it on. But I mean, if it's not really too many people want to watch it, then it's kind of like, oh, well, that's a lot of effort because, yeah, like I said, I'd have to design a board for it. So we're going to end it here. And maybe in another one, I'll go through and clean it up and replace capacitors and stuff. So thank you all for watching. I will see you guys around the bench.